Welcome once again to another live here, and I apologize for not going live so frequently as I used to do. I've been putting out some great content. Well, I'm going to say it's great content. People have also said it's great content. I've been putting out some content, but it's been aimed more at the group work that I'm doing at Revitalization Blueprint. If you want more information on that, ojayhealth.com/revitalization. But a conversation that I had with someone yesterday was regarding gut health and why their gut wasn't getting better. Can they just take more supplements for it? And one of the things that we have to look at is that gut health is a whole different ball game when it comes to what is actually causing it. And there's so many supplements out there. People say we're going to take a greens drink, we're going to take a probiotic, we're going to take digestive enzymes, we'll take prebiotics, we'll take all these different things to support gut health when it comes to what are the commercial products that are available out there for supplements to help heal your gut, shall we say. Now, it's not to say that some of these supplements don't have their place or do have their place. It's all down to an individual process. But long term, long term, we have to look at what is the root cause of the problems that are going on in your gut. And I put a post out about bloating last week, I think it was, and I had some really good comments on that and comments about this post really resonates with me because I really get random bloating. And this is what happened to me years ago when I was seriously, seriously stressed. I was at the point where I know that it was like random whether I would get bloated or not. Sometimes I would have a cup of tea or something like that, and I would just bloat out for no reason. And I would look like I was like 6 months pregnant or something. And it would be one day for breakfast, I would have oats with protein powder and I'd be fine. The next day I wouldn't. And I would then have to rush to the toilet sometimes. It wasn't a good place to be. And oh, glad you're getting some results with that, like with your gut. Like, sorry, someone's just commented on there. And it was really frustrating with myself because, as I said, this is when I was working in the corporate world. And I had a boss who was technically a bully, but she didn't realize it at the time. So I have no harsh feelings for her. In fact, she helped push me to get to where I am now because she made me realize I didn't want to be in management at the time. Now, what actually happened was we would go to our managing meetings. We'd go to our managers' meetings and I would have my breakfast beforehand, but I would actually then get so stressed out whether I need to go to the toilet or not need to go to the toilet. I was getting the mick taken out of me if I needed to go to the toilet after 30 minutes or whether it was an hour or all these different things. And gut health was massively, massively poor with me because I was really stressed. I was really anxious. We just had the news that for the second time I would lose my management secondment. And this was our whole department was getting sent offshore. And we had to train the people that were going to be taking our jobs. And I had to go back to my previous job. And what I thought people would see me as a failure. Now, supplements in that case may have helped short term to help me, whether it's probiotics, maybe it was some greens drinks or something just to calm the gut down. But long term, I had to look deeper into what was going on. So when we look at, are supplements going to help you? Maybe they will help you. Maybe they will help you short term. Maybe they'll even help you long term. But do you want to be on these supplements for the rest of your life? Because we need to look at what is the root cause of what is going on if we're going to get ahead with our health. And I like to look at this with clients to say that I'm having these symptoms. So myself was the bloating, was problems with sleep, was fatigue, was brain fog, was energy dips, even though I was in shape at the time as well. I was having all these issues that were going on. So what was actually causing them? Was it the poor gut health that was causing them? Or was it the stress I was seeing up here, the psychological aspect, the issues I was having with the things that were going on around me? I was also getting high levels of allergies that time as well. I remembered I would have loads of hay fever. I would walk into work at the time and it would look like I'd been crying all the way there. I would have to go in the bathroom. I would have to then wipe my eyes. I was dripping in sweat. So I had another allergic reaction. There was a lot of allergies going on. So what was that all about? There was problems with histamine tolerance going on as well within my gut, which I know now about these things, but I didn't know back then. So it was getting really, really frustrating. Then we look at inflammation that was being caused in the brain from this stress and signals around my environment. What is causing my gut to flare up? Was there a problem with food? Maybe there was. And it turns out a year later, I realized I had a problem with gluten, and that was making me have migraines. It was triggering me to have migraines. Wouldn't show up as celiac because when we done the test with the doctors, they test for a thing called transglutaminase 2, which is your gut, which is a reaction in your gut. And then transglutaminase 4s and 6s are going to be with your brain, so neurological symptoms. People can be reacting to gluten without being celiac, and they get neurological symptoms like myself. I occasionally get some bloat from gluten, but more than likely I have a migraine. Or they have skin conditions like psoriasis or eczema and flare-ups or really dry skin. This can be linked with it as well. Now, if we're having reactions to our skin, chances are we're having a little bit of reaction elsewhere in the body. So what is causing these flare-ups? And if we're having this food that is causing a flare-up all the time, and we take a supplement that makes us kind of scratch the surface to help us think we're improving our health, but the thing that's causing it is say it's bread. I don't want to demonize bread or carbs or anything like that, but say it's bread that's causing the issue. And we have this bread, say it is that, and we take a supplement which makes us feel better, but the bread is still causing an issue. We keep taking this supplement, but under the surface, constantly having this bread, we're still causing potential inflammation within our body. Again, it's not to say bread causes inflammation. I'm just using it as an example. We still have this inflammation being triggered. Now, we need some level of inflammation. It helps our body with processes that are going to help you move forward and help you with your immune function. We don't want to have zero inflammation. But when we get chronic levels of inflammation, so this bread is constantly triggering, like the, what's the water thing? Chinese water effect. I think that's the one. And apologies if that's not PC or anything like that, but where they drip and then constantly it's fine with a little bit, but then suddenly it just gets painful and painful and painful. This is what we're doing to our system with having these supplements that are masking what is going on under the surface. It's like having a paracetamol when we're dehydrated. We will stop that pain link, the trigger of pain, but we're actually dehydrated. So when that paracetamol wears off, actually there's still going to be pain there. And then we look at it, we say, is it physical? Is it exposure to something? Like I've spoken openly about my mold exposure and having issues with they're causing migraines to flare up. That was then causing bloating issues. Is it psychological? Is it chronic stress that's going on? And if it is exposure to something, if it is psychological, a lot of the supplements that are aimed at gut health may not help. Now, there could be some supplements that could help, like adaptogenic herbs like ashwagandha or rhodiola, these things, or Tulsi tea, these things could help, but the direct gut ones, not necessarily going to be the greatest things for you right there and then. And those adaptogenic herbs are only going to help longer term when they actually get into the system and we start building up some effectiveness in them. But still, we have to work on the psychological aspect. This is where when we look into what actually is health, we have to have good cellular health to have good overall health. And so we have atoms, we have molecules. Atoms become a molecule, which becomes a macromolecule, which becomes an organelle, which becomes a cell, which becomes tissues, which becomes organs, which becomes our organ systems. And then we become us, an organism. So to have healthy organisms, we have to have healthy cells. To have healthy cells, healthy organelles, and going backwards. And then after an organism, we have healthy populations. And then if we have healthy populations, we can have healthy communities. But we have to work on underlying causes. Is health physical? Is health physical exposure to something? Is health psychological? I truly feel that it's everything all linked into one. I don't feel we can be healthy if we're constantly exposed to chemicals that actually under the surface are causing us issues with our health. But what do we need to do about it? Well, we need to be able to improve our detoxification system because we're always going to be exposed to chemicals that could be dangerous to our health over the long term. We're not going to be able to get out of these exposure to chemicals because they're everywhere. I look here and maybe there's something that's in the water that didn't get filtered out by my water filter. Maybe it's with the window open. I live near the city. Maybe it's in a little bit of plastic that I was exposed to. Maybe it's in the t-shirt I'm wearing. Maybe it's the desk with the fire retardant on it. All these different things that could be exposures to chemicals, which could be an issue with my body. So how do we improve that? We need to look at how we detoxify. Now, are supplements the answer for that? Maybe, maybe not. Can your body actually detoxify effectively? Now, we know that some supplements, there are 4 phases of detoxification that we know about right now. Phase 0, 1, 2, and 3. Now, it's about mobilizing these toxins that are stored in our fat cells and around our body to get into the cells, to make them water soluble so they get into the cells, go through a process to make them less of an issue, then take them out of the cells, let them circulate in bile, and then hopefully we get them out of the system. Phase 0, 1, 2, and 3. Now, phase 1, we know, is massively upregulated by things like green tea, like turmeric, like milk thistle, and turmeric and green tea side of things. But these things also downregulate phase 3. So if people aren't able to detoxify effectively, and we're then going to grab supplements because we've said that these supplements are going to help our gut health and also help us detoxify, and they can do phase 0, 1, and 2, but not phase 3, we're going to have issues because those toxins that you've made harmless then start getting recirculated around the system and then start being able to do harm once again. So is it even the gut causing the problem? Or is that an outcome? Is this bloat that we have actually an outcome of something else going on? My client yesterday said about a practitioner that he's working with, a more physical therapist, said, could it be a reflux that he has, a reaction side of things, and with his gag reflex, sorry, not reflux, reflex. And this is massively linked with a thing called your vagus nerve. And I've spoken about your vagus nerve many, many times. And this is a nerve which is at the bottom of our brain axis, and it goes into our gut and other organs. And it sends messages from our brain to our gut, to our other vital organs, and back as well. Now, this is really, really impacted by stress. And if we have problems with vagal tone, it might be that you have poor gag reflex. It might be that you struggle with swallowing supplements. It might be that you have bloat because the signals aren't getting there to release the right enzymes. We have problems with mood, with motivation and things like this because we're not getting the right neurotransmitters pushed each way. So many things that could be happening with this vagus nerve. Now, we have to do physical exercises. It could be doing cardio movement. It could be working on your gag reflex. It could be gargling water, singing out loud, or different vagus nerve exercises to help stimulate the vagus nerve and work on your vagal tone. But a supplement isn't really going to help that. But if we're taking a supplement because we think it's for our gut health, but it's not the gut that's the issue, it's the vagal tone, it's going to stop this symptom potentially, but it's not going to stop the root cause, which is where I like to look at with people of what is this overall approach, this holistic approach of our health, looking from the top down. What is the actual root cause? Is it that we need to improve our diet? Is it that we need to improve our lifestyle and our routines? Is it that we need to improve our environment, our mindset, and all these things that come into play? It's probably a bit of everything, and our supplement regime. Now, also, when I look at supplements myself, is that when a client works with me, they get supplements for the price that I get supplements. It doesn't sit well with me. And some people will be selling supplements, and I get that. We have to earn our money. And some people, I personally don't believe I could do this, but some people will be able to sell supplements and be unbiased. Maybe. I personally know that if I was making a lot of money off of supplements, I could not 100% guarantee that I would be able to be unbiased in my view of what supplements I'm recommending people. So that is the reason why when clients work with me, any functional tests, any blood tests they get, or anything like that, they get them at practitioner prices. I don't make money off of them. And the same with supplements as well. They get them at practitioner prices because I make money off the coaching. And I know that in order to make that coaching the best, we may need to have some supplements on the surface while we fix what's going on underneath. These protocols may not be cheap. So I want to give them to the clients at the prices I get them with. And a case of, yes, like maybe some people, as I said, can sell supplements and be unbiased and know exactly what's in them to improve them. Great. Like, it's amazing. If you can do that, like, I hold my hands up to you. Like, it's amazing. I don't believe I would be able to do that. Hence why we have to look at the overall side of things. So, what is actually causing the bloat? What is causing the problems with your gut? And how do we improve that? Working on your gut microbiome, your diversity in your gut, working on getting loads of different veggies in there. Maybe some supplements are going to help you. Getting a good greens drink like human tonic greens, those sorts of things are going to be really beneficial. There's different greens drinks, your athletic greens and stuff like that. But what is actually in there deeper down? Now, some supplements can be harmful. If we get supplements and we can't go through a thing called methylation, right? Are we actually even going to be able to absorb those supplements and methylate them from inactive to active? So many questions that I could ask here when it comes to supplements. And I don't want to go on and on because I realize this has been a 15, 16-minute live already. But I just want you to just ask the question, why am I taking supplements? If it's for the short-term fix, if when I stop these supplements, have I actually changed the things that actually got me to the place where I needed those supplements at the beginning? If the answer is no, do you want to be taking this supplement for the rest of your life to stop that? Or could you make some slight adjustments, small adjustments and consistent adjustments to your nutrition, to your stress management, to your coping mechanisms? Maybe you're training too hard. Maybe you're not training enough. Could you make some adjustments to those to help you move your health forward longer term? Ask yourself those questions. If you need help with this stuff, feel free to drop me a message. If you're confused of what supplements to have, what supplements you may or may not need. Yes, we may have to go through a screening or anything like that, but drop me a message. I've got a couple of spots open here in May for one-to-one coaching, but I've also got my revitalization blueprint, female health revitalization blueprint open, where we have a call every couple of weeks. It's just £21 a month. And we have our messenger group community, which is being built, and we're giving each other some amazing support to help you move forward with your health one single step at a time and take all these confusing things out of the mix to allow you to get results. You want any more information? Drop me a message, but you can find it at ojayhealth.com/revitalization. Thank you for watching.